Hello people, another beautiful day. Yep, hope your five senses work, health and strength is good. What? Or excellent. What's up gamers? Look, Phil Spencer, this video is for you. How to fix the Xbox problem. Look, people that play video games offline are gamers too, you know. They're gamers. The Xbox 360 had it right. Okay? The Xbox 360 had it right, where when you buy a game, you can play the game offline with no internet connection. Okay? When you buy a game, when you go to the retail store and buy the game, you can play it offline with no internet connection. So to fix, people that play video games people that play video games offline with no internet connection are gamers too. They're gamers. Okay? So you can't leave these people out the equation when it comes to the Xbox platform. You got to cover both bases. You have to cover the people that play online, and then the people that play offline. So the 360 had it right though. When you buy the 360, you didn't need an internet connection to play the game offline. You can play the game offline. Xbox Live was a choice to play online or to play offline, right? So when it comes to the Xbox One and Series X now, the Xbox One and Series X network needs a complete overhaul, meaning that they need to go back to the 360 way of doing things, where the 360 had it where like you can play the game offline, you can play against the computer by yourself, or you sign up to Xbox Live or Game Pass and play the games online. That's what Xbox need to do to get themselves out, to get you this is what you guys need to do to get yourself out the hole that you're in right now. Okay? Because when you made that statement about Xbox One as a failure, I see where the problem is coming from. I made 3 videos last year when I said Xbox console ban means that PlayStation user base gets bigger, and those 3 videos were dagger, and I threw it right at you guys so you can change your ways, because I knew that's where you guys were suffering. You can't just make a video game console and just have it online only. It doesn't work. There's millions of people out here in the world that can't afford the internet. They would love to have an Xbox so they can play their games, but you're telling them, oh, they have to be online to use Xbox. That's not right. That's why the 360 had it right from day one. So Xbox Live and Game Pass would have been 2 choices to where gamers like, okay, if I'm gonna go online, which one do I want? Do I want to use Xbox Live or do I want to use Game Pass? The 360 had it right, and you should have stayed with that formula. So when it comes to the Xbox One now, you're gonna have to do a complete overhaul to where a person can use the Xbox One and play their games completely offline with no internet connection, or even play local multiplayer offline against the computer. You got to go back to the 360 formula of doing things with Xbox One Series and the Series X. So the Xbox network needs a complete overhaul. Then let's say they want to play Call of Duty offline with the Xbox One. Once they have that option, then they should be able to go in the Microsoft store, take a USB flash drive, buy the emulator, buy the Call of Duty emulator or any emulator, install it on the Xbox One, and play against the computer offline. They should be able to do that. When you made this console an online only console, the gamers never had control over the system, and they never had any choice in the matter. It was a network administrator, and then once a network administrator banned the Xbox enforcement team was banning a lot of people that never hacked the network. and once you guys did that, you lost a lot of users. So when I said Xbox Xbox console bans means PlayStation user base gets bigger. That's what I was alluding to. So when I saw the video, the interview you did, and you were saying Xbox One is a failure, I know where that is coming from. So to fix the Xbox One's problem and the Series X problem, you have to have you need to give the network an overhaul and go back to the 360 network, where people had the choice when they walk in the retail store. They can purchase an Xbox One or a Series X, install the game, set up their profile offline, and play their game offline. And if they want to get on Xbox Live, then they have the choice to make the decision like, okay, I can go on Xbox Live when I'm ready, not when I buy the console and then right away I have to sign up to Xbox Live. The 360, the Xbox 360, this console had it right from day one. And you should have stayed with it. And you should have kept Xbox Live and Game Pass. Okay, you give the Xbox gamers two choices. Which one do you want? Do you want to play on Xbox Live, or do you want to play on Game Pass? And leave it at that. The Xbox 360 had it right. But once you guys went and built the Xbox One, you built the Xbox One, and then tied all the game to the network, and then you told people like, oh, you need an internet connection to sign in to use this console. That was the death of Xbox right there. So to correct this mistake now, you're gonna have to go back to the 360 ways of doing things. You're gonna have to go back to this, where they can play their games offline, create their profiles offline. But they have a choice when it comes to online now. They have a choice between Xbox Live and Game Pass. And then things will get better from there. Your user base will increase tremendously. Take my word for it. Okay? Because there's plenty of people out there in the world that can't afford the internet. There's plenty of people out there that can't afford the internet. They love Xbox One. They might want to watch a like a DVD movie on it, a Blu-ray movie on it, or they just want to play their games offline. And you missed out on that revenue. So you're gonna have to correct. You guys at Xbox are gonna have to do a complete overhaul of the network and go back to the 360s network for the go back to the 360s network. Where gamers had a choice to play offline and then get on Xbox Live, or Game Pass would be extra. That's how you need to do it. You had it right when you had the 360, so you guys need to go back to it, and that will fix Xbox problem, the problem that you're dealing with. Okay, and then your user base will grow. Okay, because now people in third world, people that's all over the world now that can't afford online play, you're like, oh cool, I can purchase the Xbox, I can play offline, I don't need an internet connection. And not every game you have to tie to the network. Like games that are live service, you got to tie to the network. Games like Forza, games like Sea of Thieves, games like let's see, what's another one, Anthem, games like Destiny, what's another one, well, like Battlefront. You keep those games online to keep the appeal of Xbox, but you got to have offline play. You got to, okay? And when you didn't have offline play on this, you sealed your faith, okay? Because people are like, wait a minute, I don't have an internet connection. I just want to play the games offline. What, I got to sign up to the internet just to get on this? And that's when you lost it. The 360 had it right. The Xbox 360 had it right. Xbox Live and Game Pass are two options. That was the other. You had three options. With the 360, you had three options. To play offline, that's one. To play on Xbox Live, that's two. Or to get on Xbox Game Pass, that's three. The Xbox 360 gave you three options. The Xbox One only gave you one option. Oh, Oh, just you have to sign up to the network to use it. That's not right. So the Xbox One and the Series X network need to change. It needs to go back to the 360 network. The 360 network had it right. Okay, the 360 network had it right because you had the 360, you can play offline. That's one. Then you can get on Xbox Live. That's two. But then you can get on Game Pass. That's three. The 360 formula was right. So, Phil Spencer, I'm gonna say this to you right now. Your network needs a complete overhaul, and it needs to go back to the Xbox 360 network. And once you do that, then things will get better. But if you keep the Xbox One and Series X as is, like it's in the state right now, then it's going to go downhill. You need to correct this, and this needs to happen now. Okay? Yeah. Because not only that, your Xbox enforcement team was driving people away. Your Xbox enforcement team were banning people that never hacked your network. They might have got into an argument online with a hacker that was hacking the game, but it doesn't mean that they were actually the person. It doesn't mean that the actual player was hacking the game. It was the hackers that was doing it, right, and making the game unplayable. So once you ban those users that never hacked your network, you lost those players. Those players went over to PlayStation. So you need to do a complete overhaul of the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X network. And once you take it back to where the 360, the way the 360 had it, and you can play your games, right? And not every game, the way the 360 have it, and then people have the choice between Xbox Live and Game Pass. It will get better from there, and that's all I can say on the matter. So that's what you need to do to fix that network. You have to do that. This is why people love the 360 till this day. This is why people love the Xbox 360 till this very day, because they had choices. Okay, they had choices. They had choice to play offline if they will. They have choice to play offline. They had the choice to play online with Xbox Live or Game Pass, and that's the way you should have had. You should have kept it from day one, and don't mess with it. But once you went to the Xbox One way of doing things, everything went downhill from there. Okay, so to fix the problem now, you're going to have to go back to the 360 way of doing things and leave it there. Okay, you give people choices to play offline, that's one. To get on Xbox Live, that's two. Or to get on Game Pass, that's three. And then once you give people those three choices, when it comes to playing games on Xbox, your user base will always climb. You will never be in a hole like you are with the Xbox One. So yeah, that's how you fix that problem. Okay, yeah. Look, because that was the problem. Because look, you're telling me if I have Batman Arkham Knight, I can't play the game offline, but on the 360 with Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Origins, I can play offline. And that was the problem. That was the problem, man. So Phil Spencer, and to everybody at Microsoft, you have to go back to the 360 way of doing things and correct that and correct the mistake, man. You have to do it. If not, you're going to be stuck in that hole that you're in right now with Xbox. If you don't do it, you're going to be stuck. So I mean keep Starfield online. Keep Starfield online. I get it, to keep that live service going. Keep Sea of Thieves on as a live service. I understand that. Keep Destiny and Anthem as live service. That's cool. We have no problem with that, right? But games that like that requires you to be online, keep those online. But games that are offline need to stay offline. You don't need to sign in online to play a game offline. That doesn't make any sense. So when it comes to the Xbox, the 360 had it right, man. The Xbox 360 had it right. The Xbox 360 had it right, because the Xbox 360 gave you the option. Okay, you buy the 360, you go home, you set up a little profile offline and start playing. But then when it comes to online now, we have to purchase Xbox Live, right? And then Game Pass would have been extra. The 360 had it right. So, you need to, Phil Spencer, you guys need to go back to the 360 formula and stay with it, and never change it. Okay, the 360 had it right, and that will solve the problem. That will solve the problem with Xbox. That will really solve the problem with Xbox, and go on from there, and then things will get better, man. Okay, and you guys will be out the hole, and you won't have to worry about you won't have to go back through this situation again. Okay, yeah. So you know, people spend money on these Xbox One consoles, man. And once you know, you guys were banning people that never hacked your network, man, and that's wrong. That never hacked your network. You were taking what the hackers were doing and then placing it on the person that never hacked your network. That is wrong, man. You know, so you got to go back to the 360 ways of doing things. Okay. Once you do that, then things will get better. Your user base number will climb. Okay, because people like, oh, I don't have to get online right away. I can buy me an Xbox Series X or Xbox One and I can play my games offline. If I want to get the DLCs and stuff, then I go into the Microsoft store and then I go into the Microsoft store and then buy the DLC, download it to a flash drive, install it on the console. Done. So yeah, that needs to happen, man. That needs to happen, and that will take you out the hole that you're in. Okay, that will solve a lot of the problems that Xbox is having. Okay, yeah, because I mean, you do need a powerful console to play video games. You do. Keep making your consoles powerful. Work on the games that you have. You know, stay consistent, and that's it. So yeah, but you definitely got to go back to the 360 way of doing things, because the 360 gave people the chance to play the game offline, but then they can get on Xbox Live if they wanted to, or then Game Pass is extra. So yeah, you know, so yeah, they had choices. So you got to go back to that formula. That formula was working. When you guys went away from it, yeah, that's when the problems start to happen, because you lost a lot of users. You lost a lot of users that was on Xbox. You know, you lost a lot of users. You know, and then the enforcement team was making things even worse for people. When they got banned, they were sitting there. They were like, "Wait a minute, I gotta buy a new console now to get back online to play." Yeah, so got to go back to the 360 way of doing things. The 360, the Xbox 360, the Xbox 360 had it right from day one. Xbox Live and Game Pass was just the extra icing to the cake on this console. The 360 had it right, man. So yeah, you got to go back to that and stay with it. You know, so yeah. And this notion that you got to be online, you got to sign in online just to use an Xbox console, cut that out. That needs to stop, because that's what was hurting you. That was hurting the Xbox ecosystem as a whole. Your user base numbers weren't climbing like they were supposed to. You're like, wait a minute, I gotta have an internet connection. Okay, I don't want to be online to play. I want to buy an Xbox console just to play some games offline. I can't do that, and that was a problem. So yeah, you guys at Microsoft, you need to fix that situation, man. Go back to the 360 way of doing things. The 360 had it right. The Xbox 360 had it right, okay? Because you had a choice between playing offline Then you had Xbox Live. Then you had Game Pass would have been extra. Yeah. So that's my take on the whole thing. You got to go back to that formula because it was working. When you went away from it, that's when everything went haywire. Because you were telling people, oh, they need to have an internet connection to use Xbox One. So let me get this straight. If I had to return to Arkham series and Arkham Knight, you're telling me that I need to be online to use that game? When you tied everything to the network and telling people that they have to be online to play, that's when things went bad for Xbox. That's when it went start going. You weren't seeing the progress that you were supposed to be seeing. It went down. So you guys got to fix that little problem, and you need to correct it. But the 360 has it right. See, with the 360, when it comes to Batman games, I don't need an internet connection to play. I can just pop the disc in and start playing right away and saving my games. But on Xbox One now, when it comes to Arkham Knight and the Return to Arkham, I have to sign up to the internet to use this? Nah, that's wrong. Okay? So you guys need to go back to the 360 way of doing things. The 360, the Xbox 360 had it right all along. Okay? You had offline play where the player was in control of the system, and then you had online play, and then Game Pass would have been extra. That formula is better. Anyway, leave this video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Or Dark Side. Go. Peace.